I'm Justin Dunn, and we're at American Mustang School. This is one of my Mustang's whiskey, and what I want to share with you today is actually for myself. I'm making this video for me, making it for whiskey here, kind of a thank you to him, and also a reminder to me for later in life when I can look back over this video and appreciate this moment that I'm so grateful for today. And I always seek to learn more knowledge, information that'll help me become a better person, help me become a better horseman, a father, a husband, businessman in that light. So without further ado, I'll bring you through a series of videos that I'm planning, this being the first one of the series. I chose whiskey because he's the one I learned what I'm about to share with you. I learned with him. He's a Mustang, once wild horse, captured out of Nevada. Just to give you a brief summary, he was a once wild horse, raised in nature, born in nature, raised in nature. Wild just meaning uninterrupted by man, kind of like a wildflower. He had to learn to abide in the laws of nature that govern the heavens and the earth. They're the ordinances that we all must know, understand, in order to live a meaningful, purposeful life. Having access to something that comes straight out of nature, a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people that do have it don't know what to do with it. So it's one of those interesting concepts that we'll explore together in these videos. A once wild horse has things that have atrophied in a domesticated horse. And a lot of those are just survival skills. The domestic horse never had to operate in a survival mindset. Once wild horse did, he had to. He'll bring those into the human element. And those are interesting observations that I've got to witness in my horsemanship journey. My biggest question is kind of like, where'd we come from? Why are we here? Where are we going? What's the point? What's the reasoning? And the only way that I've really even come close to answering those three questions is discovering what nature has to reveal to us. What secrets is nature keeping from us? And how do we get nature to reveal the secrets to us? How do we get other people to reveal secrets to us? I mean, we can't force them. We can't take it from them. We can't force nature. We can't take it from nature. So how exactly do we get it? Well, this horse was once wild. Like I said, is really tough for me living in the ego self to get this horse to reveal to me the secrets he had to offer. So how do I do it? Well, I had to learn the game of horsemanship. It's kind of like you have to learn the game of life. And in learning the game of life or horsemanship, kind of modeled both side by side, I discovered that, I can learn how to not get hurt. This is 1,000-pound muscle. He definitely could hurt me. I got to learn how to not get hurt. Why? What's the other reason to learn the horsemanship game or learn the game of life? Well, I got to learn how to benefit from it. So what is it? It's laws of nature. What are they? Well, we're going to focus on 12, but there are a bunch. They kind of cross-reference each other. They're interconnected, kind of like the scriptures. You read a verse, it correlates with another verse, that correlates with another verse, interconnects, interweaves. They're discoverable through experiencing and consciously developing an awareness that they're even there. And once you create that mindset or tap into that mindset of discovery, they flow to you. And once you learn them, practice them, abide by them, and implement them into your life, you discover things that are secret to most people. So what we learn in that is to control what we can. Like I said, I couldn't control this horse. And once I realized that, it got easy. I had to create willingness in him to come with me to explore Earth together. I did develop a way of doing this, and that's what we practice here at American Mustang School. So I'm connecting in mind, body, my brain and my heart, and spirit, the energy that gives us the ability to go and do what it is we're doing. This first law that I'd like to talk with you about is the law of divine oneness. I think it's probably the most important law. However, it's not the strongest law. I'm not convinced of that yet. The strongest law is self-preservation. Law of earth, kill and be killed, eat and be eaten. Kind of like, wow, those are profound laws, And how do we benefit, or how do we learn not to get hurt in that law that exists? So self-preservation is strong. You want to survive. You want to develop skills and an awareness to survive. So I created what I call an interactive system for desirable results. And it's 5 levels of communication and horsemanship. But then I quickly discovered that enhanced my other areas of life I think are important. My health, mental and physical, my wealth, financial, my relationships with other people, my wife, my children, my subordinates, my supervisors, or anybody that I come into contact with. I had an advanced ability, or I had access to information to give me an advanced awareness or ability to create the relationships I wanted and get rid of the ones I don't, and then realize the benefits of doing that. And then overall happiness. I kind of understand what it's like to be happy. And I think it's a really common goal for most anyone. They want to live a happy life. Well, how? How do we do that? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. What I discovered in horsemanship in the mountains of Colorado. Over a 13-year period, 8 of those years, I got to really dive deep without any society distractions, like cell phones or cable TV, television, internet, having a mundane type 9-to-5 society, stamped out identity job, none of those things interacted or interrupted, I should say, with what I was trying to really learn through horsemanship. The first thing that I discovered was mindset. It starts there. You have to have a mindset. If I want a calm, quiet, thinking mind in a horse, I have to have that and present that. If I want a desirable response from the horse in calm, quiet action, I have to present that. So, those universal laws that we're going to talk about, law of action, but we don't want to jump ahead. I had to discover that laws of the universe apply to anything and everything we do. And knowing them, abiding in them, give us the advantage to reach a higher level of consciousness. And that's where we're going. We're going up. We want more. We want to attract more. We want more. Can't be forced. Can't be taken. Just like this 1,000-pound horse. I can't force him to do something. I can't take it from him. I've got to create willingness in him to reveal it or come with. And that's what I'm after. All of the laws apply. We attract what it is we present, what we're thinking. Law of vibration is our second one. We'll do that in another video. But whatever I present to this horse, I can expect from this horse. Whatever I think and do has an effect on me. That's this first universal law of divine oneness. Whatever I think and do, I become. Whatever he thinks and does, he becomes. It creates a habit and then a character. The character of this horse, the character of me, have evolved from what they were to what they are now. And I've been with this horse many years. In discovering those laws together in that 8-year time frame of no interruption, and then a 13 years of an overarching discovery, those first 8 years, kind of a discovery for he and I, and there was some times where we got to experience sharing with others, horses and people, and then in the overarching 13 years of really refining everything that was learned in the beginning. It's interconnected and it's interwoven, so it's kind of tough to give you like a linear timeline of how things happen. And that's the way it works. These ordinances that we live by, they apply in a higher level than just earthly level. So as we explore these, that should come into a better understanding for you. I'm making this video for myself, like I said, because I do want to reference this later on in my life, I know. And I'm so grateful to be able to experience this with him, in the past, in now, and in the future. And I wanted to document some of the learnings or findings on this video series for you, but for myself too. So it's pretty interesting whenever you can have an interactive system for desirable results, and understanding that those 12 universal laws are kind of a blueprint or a guide for you to get it. Get the answers or the secrets revealed to you in horsemanship. I want to share with you also that I wrote a book. It's called A Horse to Guide Me. This particular horse is on the cover. I do refer to some of these laws of nature in the book. However, diving as deep as I wanted to, the book would have been probably still in writing because it's a lot of information and it's a lot of valuable and unique information. So I didn't want to put too much too soon. This horse right here, I'd like to just publicly on video thank him for helping me discover myself. And I also want to thank him for being willing to go with me in the discovery of self-mastery. And I think we both benefited. It's kind of an equilibrium that was met in our relationship of him coming out of the wild into the human element, and me coming out of the human element and into the wild, so to speak, uninterrupted by man. The feedback loop that we shared together only enriched his life, enriched my life, and continues to do so. So if you have any questions on this video or anything you'd like in regards to following the laws, abiding in the laws of nature, and presenting to the horse, something true and honest yourself, or ask the horse to reveal to you these secrets that they guard from you, or actually nature itself, put them in the comments. I'm happy to explore it with you. Definitely try to make a video that'll explain it. You might wonder what the 5 levels of communication in horsemanship are. I designed them for me, and I've shared them with probably thousands of people. Well, definitely thousands of people to date, and they always work. They never not work. So we focus on what we want, and we don't focus on what we don't want. We like the light, we don't like the darkness, so to speak. Good, evil, and all those things kind of make sense when we apply these in the 5 levels of communication with nature, which is a horse, and we're nature. So we align in those, discover depths of each other, and it starts with grooming for mindset, which I just did. Groomed him for the mindset to make this video. Groomed for mindset to go into the next level, which is establish communication with the horse. Got to ask him questions, mechanical questions, get a deeper understanding of him, allow him to get a deeper understanding of me. Timing, rhythm, speed, all of those things come into play. Pressures, questions, releases, thank yous in both of us. Mental tension, physical tension, and then releasing. Freeing up restrictions in our minds, mine, his, tensions in our bodies, synchronizing those, and merging together as one and exploring Earth. So third one would be coming from the ground to his back, level 3. Level 4, accomplishing obstacles together, communication, man-made obstacles to preparatory for the real world, being level 5. Real world focused riding, where we explore Earth together, maintaining a feedback loop of mind to mind, body to body communication, and developing a higher level of consciousness regardless of outside influences. Abiding in those laws of nature that we're going to go through in these next videos. really happy to just bring this particular video forward because this is something I've been wanting to do. You know, a lot of times it seems to be like, oh, let's make a training video on how to X, Y, or Z. Well, that's like about 5% of horsemanship, in my opinion. The 95% is developing this awareness, the skill that everybody needs, both horse and human. And that's the awareness of what nature is ready to reveal to us, being ready and prepared for what the horse will reveal to us, being able and willing to change, to discover our inner self and present it outwardly. So the last thing I'll touch on in this law of divine oneness, again, it's what we think and do affects ourselves, what we think and do affects others, and that's something we need to develop an awareness on. But a couple of words come into mind when I explain that. You know, perception. How do we perceive ourselves? How does this horse perceive us? Or another example, how do we perceive ourselves and how does the world perceive us? How does our wife perceive us? How does our children perceive us? And then how far apart are those? You know, my perception of myself may be totally different than what this horse perceives me. And then I'll go to another horse and another horse and another horse. And after you train, you know, upwards of hundreds of horses or even thousands of horses, you start to realize what perception you may have had of yourself, and you present to a horse that'll give you nanosecond feedback in a lot of things that I really couldn't even begin to cover on a 15-20 minute video. That is really something to take into account, you know, how we perceive ourselves, how they perceive us, and then looking at it from a different perspective. Yeah, so I want to kind of look at it from him. So trade places with the horse and treat him like I'd want to be treated if the roles were reversed. So what perspective is he looking at me from? You know, is he a wild horse looking at me in that perspective if I'm a human? And then a domestic horse, what perspective is that horse looking at me from? What perspective could I look at this horse in a little differently? So being willing to change is the toughest thing that I've seen in horsemanship. A lot of people get a fixed mindset. They want to bring the past up into the present, and it's not a positive, it's a negative. Something bad happened, bring it in. So they're presenting that to the horse, and then they're observing the feedback. They're not liking, you know, it's undesirable, but they're not willing to change. You know, change is the only constant on this whole earth plane. Things change. Constant is change. So we have to be willing to do that. You know, and sometimes it's dying of self. You know, the ego in ourself has to die, and then we can rebuild that. Practicing horsemanship is the only way that I've discovered how to do that efficiently, effectively, and long-term sustainably. So it's not comfortable to change because, you know, you got to kind of admit things that you don't want to, like, I've been doing this wrong for how long? No, I'm not changing. But the day you realize, yeah, okay, I've been doing this wrong for a long time, I'm willing to change and present something true and honest to you, help me become better, then they realize what you're doing and they are attracted to that. They will come to you and help you become better. They will pick up where you fall short. And it's a really cool thing when that happens because I can't force them to do it. I can't take anything from them. But when I'm willing to change, to become better, and they tap into that, that's that what I think and do I become, what he thinks and does he becomes. And that's that law of divine oneness. And I've got a jealous horse back there. He just wants to be over here with us so bad. And I love that all my horses want to be doing what we do because it's only of benefit to them. You know, whatever we think and do, we become. So we have thought calm, quiet thoughts. We have done things to become better, enrich our lives. So everything that we do has a therapeutic value, and they want to be involved. It's almost like living with passion and purpose and having a meaningful and purposeful life. it's so rewarding. It's so life enriching, and it's the revelation or the revealing of what nature's hiding from us, and that is a powerful thing. So thanks for watching. We'll bring the other video soon. Thank you for being a good star of the show, Whiskey. And what a blessing it is to have such a beautiful being as a part of my life. And as I know, when I watch this video later, it'll hit me. I don't know how much later I'll watch it in my life, but I am so grateful for this horse. You guys just don't really have any idea what kind of a person I probably would be without him. And words probably aren't, there's probably not words that could describe it. It's just that whenever you get to witness or be a part of something so beautiful and so profound, that gratification is probably the word, but it doesn't do it justice. These guys, they're created by the one who spoke all things into existence. Same creator that created me, created him, and blessed me with him. And without him, I probably wouldn't have become the man I am today. So thank you, Whiskey. I love you.